Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Steve with Sensus Fidelium coming at you at 9:12 p.m., October the 16th, 2025. How you doing this glorious evening? It's beautiful here where I'm at. I know there's some people that have snow on the ground. I don't live in a snow zone area in October. Thanks be to God. Uh, would love to have more palm trees around me and more seafood, but that's here nor there, and it's still in the rental stage. Anyways, hope you're doing whenever, wherever you are. Candlesticks, welcome. You're always on the top. You're on the ball already. They bombed. Yes, the most favored nation has just bombed Lebanon. I have video of that. And what happened to the false peace, the spirit of Antichrist last week? Don't worry. Trump is already threatening to kill them all, and he it's like home run derby. Hit his 82nd bombing of Somalia today. So, hey, congratulations, once and future King President DJT, for padding his stats on Somalia. We'll get to that and more coming on at you. Government enters its 16th day of shutdown. These are the regions most and least impacted. I know what region is least impacted. This region, me, the Cunningham household. Other states hurt most by the shutdown include Alaska, Maryland, Virginia, by God, Virginia, Alabama, sweet home Alabama, Oklahoma, and Arizona. Meanwhile, Minnesota, Iowa, Indiana, Nebraska, and New Hampshire represent the top 5 states who are least affected by the shutdown. The only reason I even remembered there was a shutdown was because I went on to do not call.gov, because I'm on the do not call list, but I'm sure everyone else there, you get these calls from potential spam. It's the only person that calls you during the day, potential spam. So I was trying to get on that thing. I saw that somebody said, get on there, and you can't use that site because government shutdown. So the site doesn't work. Don't you love it? Catholic vote, Mall of America to exhibit largest collection of papal artifacts outside of Rome. And here's the Vatican Ville coming to the Archdiocese of St. Paul in Minneapolis. The exhibit is curated by Father Richard Kuntz, the priest of the Diocese of Duluth, Minnesota, who collects papal artifacts. He's interested in historical memorabilia, began his high school when he received an autographed photo of Jimmy Carter. You needed a better high school days, I think. As an adult, he saw an auction for 3 papal autographs. Well, at least he stepped up from Jimmy Carter. I mean, Carter wasn't a bad dude. He was a kind guy, from what I understand. And people loved him. He was a Southern gentleman in a way, from what I've heard. It was the first time I've ever seen a signature of a pope made available. In a way, I was shocked that they ever existed. I had to get a loan from my sister, but in the end, I won 2 of the 3 papal items, autographs of John the 23rd and Paul the 6th, both as cardinals. Were they like Topps rookie cards? Yes, the Mall of America is in Minnesota. Is the skirt going to be beefed up? No, it's not going to be. It's not going to be a psyop. This is just an actual event that's going on. Yes, there's a bunch of issues up in the area, but hey, that's on them. They got to work that out. Maybe I won't do any more jokes. They weren't very good anyways. But anyway, yeah, I was just thinking, wow, this priest was collecting autographs of popes. You know what? I'm pretty excited when it comes to all things Catholic, and I've never thought, you know what I need? I need a John the 23rd mint condition Topps rookie card autograph. Or, if I ever go to Rome, which highly unlikely that I ever do it. One, because of the digital ID, I'm not going to be a part of that. So I'm just not going to fly. Sorry, my eyes itching. I'm not going to care about going up and getting an autograph. I mean, I got plenty of autographs already from back in the day. And I don't know, have a blessing by him. That'd be cool. But having an autograph, it's just being an autograph hound that I was, just doesn't. Would an autograph be a relic? I guess. I mean, whoever he touched would be a relic. If you got an autograph on like what do you have an autograph of? Like a sheet of paper? Just a paper? I mean, I had a guy back in the day when I was doing medical sales. He gave me a sheet of paper with all these autographs that he got of the Brooklyn Dodgers. It was cool as anything. Pee Wee Reese, Jackie, Sandy Koufax, all these guys. It was cool as anything, but it was still just a sheet of paper. I mean, it's like I don't know. I always if I got his signature is on baseballs, it was on cards, a hat. I got a hat that with Pete Rose and Pete Rose Jr. That was a great one. I got Junior to cry. He was acting like a you know what out there in the outfield. He saw that hat, Niagara Falls. It was great. He actually thanked me for that. I was probably 14 at the time. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, so back in those days, we've been Tops, Fleer maybe. So like a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, mint condition. It would be the John the 23rd mint condition rookie card. What would that go in Donruss? Top Stadium upper deck collection. Just the paper rookie card. Yeah, I have a rookie card of Pope Leo. I do have that. It's and it's in mint condition. A Tops, and it's by Tops. I had to get it because it was just one of those things. It's like, okay, I don't think they made any baseball cards of anybody else. So I was like, hey, why not? It's $4 or something like that. I got me a Tops rookie card, Leo. Now, don't screw up on that. I mean, because if he messes up, then the card's gonna be worth like a quarter in an inflated period. You know how much on a quart, if it goes down to a quarter and in the inflated time, it's like negative money. You almost have to pay somebody just to hold on to it. It would be so bad if he doesn't do well that if you put it in your spokes, the bike breaks or the spokes don't even want to play with it. Yeah, back in the day, if no one has a clue, you used to be able to put some of the cards if you wanted to. First, they came in these little bags with bad gum in it, but you could put in your spokes and you would hear the. You didn't do that with a Ken Griffey rookie card, though. Anyway, let's get back to it. We're going way off topic. Trump signs an executive order again, putting new restrictions on federal hiring. Once the future came, President DJT on late Wednesday, someday before today, signed a new executive order that puts him up to a grand total of 1,437 executive orders just on Wednesday alone that told agencies to restrict hiring throughout the federal government, providing some exceptions related to immigration enforcement, national and public security, and political appointees. Figure that. Have you seen the video of JP? What's his channel? The comedian, the long hair guy, usually doesn't wear a shirt when he does it. They did one on pickleball. Hilarious, because we'll play as a family, just smacking around with the kids. And I didn't know what the score was. So like 16, 4, 3, 3. And the guy goes, why is there a third number? There's two of us. And they make up numbers throughout the time. 1776 pi 4. Still no clue what that means. Here is Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni announces major crackdown on Islamism, a new law that bans burkas and niqabs, with mosques facing regular monitoring and inspections is underway. Italy is in safe hands. Now, we'll see how she goes. I mean, it's all talk until you actually do something and see if there's going to be a reconquista in Italy. Who was it the other day that did that? Oh, somebody else. It wasn't Italy. Somebody else was doing that too. So hey, good on them. Finally sticking up. I mean, they've been having some problems, especially in the Lake Garda area. Where else? Was Milan having a big deal too? They've been having all the European nations have been having a rough time. 38-year startup backed by Bill Gates. 38-year-old startup. Let me try that again. Backed by Bill Gates has raised $33 million to reinvent butter without cows. We want to, quote, save the world. So they want butter without cows. Apparently that's going to save the world. Okay. Kathleen Alexander, who wove through a crowded room to reach the cash register at San Francisco, once based 165's Pastery. There, the co-founder and CEO of Sabre watched her company's chocolate bonbons get purchased by consumers for the first time. As the September evening wore on, Alexander saw hundreds of the candies made in partnership of 165 fly off the trays. This is going to get boring as we continue, so we're not going to keep doing that. Using nearly 100-year-old science to recreate butter without cows or plants. German scientists in the 1920s used heat and pressure to turn gas into liquid or solid hydrocarbons. And a chemist at Sunoco, at the gas station, injected oxygen into those solids to create edible fats in the 1930s. All right, just give me the cow. Seems like a lot of work. Justice Jackson, who's the gift that keeps on giving, just compared Black people not being able to create majority Black congressional districts to disabled people not being able to enter a building before the ADA. Quote, they don't have access to the voting system. They're disabled. Good night, everybody. We just can't get any dumber than right there. Yeah, you call it corn, we call it maize. Don't we all? Don't we have butter without cows? It's called margarine. Oh yeah, there's a good commercial. Rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat. Yes, K-Hawk. That's right. Sweden. That's right. Thank you for my ignorance on that. I forgot about that. Yes, that was Sweden. What is their winning prize? We're going to give them a case of butter that's not made by a cow. Wasn't that like no? Wasn't that also? I can't believe that's not butter. Isn't that part of the no butter without cow thing? I don't know. Butter. Once future King President DJT announces a deal with the prescription fertility drug company to reduce the cost of specific IVF medication. Quote, we want to make it easier for all couples to have babies, raise children, and start the families they have always dreamed about. And on unrelated news, the Pro-Life Inc. group has, they haven't done nothing. They haven't said a thing about this yet. They still want their Mar-a-Lago tickets to be okay. So we haven't heard anything from let's make a phone with testing. Anybody? Is this thing working? LifeSite, anybody? Leela, you guys you on the ball? They haven't talked about the South Carolina bill in ever. So yeah, we're waiting on hearing from Pro-Life Inc. on this situation. I'm sure they're going to try to spin it somehow so that they can stay with their DJT creds in mind and not burn their friendships. Sam Altman on harvesting star power. You had that on your bingo card, right? There's a new wrinkle in the connection between AI race and the drive to explore deep space. It's getting a shot in the arm today with a headline from the information that Sam Altman of OpenAI is talking about Dyson spheres and colonizing the light cone. For most of us who aren't NASA nerds, this is all Greek. What is the light cone and how do you colonize it? What is the Dyson sphere? A Dyson sphere is a theoretical construct formulated by Freeman Dyson circa 1960, where some existing system would harness power from a nearby star and send it somewhere else, presumably to Earth. Some of the leading theories on Dyson spheres have suggested that it would be a series of satellites and not a single unit that would scoop up the power and transfer it deep across space. Dyson spheres suffer from a fatal flaw. They are catastrophically unstable, writes Paul Sutter at Life Science. But now an engineer claims to have figured out a way to stabilize these structures, and all it takes is 2 stars. It's not a 5-star thing, it's a 2-star thing. Leela spoke against it. Okay, I apologize. I did not see that she did or not. Leela, I apologize for saying that you haven't said anything on there. Call out now help out with South Carolina. A Dyson sphere could bring humans back from the dead, researchers say. This cosmic megastructure may be the key to resurrection and immortality. You read that right. Here's what you learn when you read this story. Russian researchers have outlined Several ways technological resurrection may be possible in the future, including a method called the digitally immortality restoration based on recordings. In this method, a super intelligent AI uses the cosmic Dyson sphere megastructure to harness computing energy from the sun. Humans can't build a Dyson sphere yet, but the researchers say nanorobots could one day do the job. From Financial Times, what happens if we spend nearly 3 trillion on data centers that no one reads? And I can't get this thing to work right now. That this I don't know why archive won't let me scroll through. Okay. Well, maybe there it goes. Da, da, da. The build out would require an extraordinary amount of money, 3 trillion global capex by just 2028. Okay. Anyway, sorry, the thing's already boring me. Let's go next one. PayPal's crypto partner mints a whopping $300 trillion worth of stablecoins in technical error. How you have a technical? Was that on Monopoly? Technical error in your favor, $300 million. I'm waiting for them to put the Trump's face on the Statue of Liberty and paint it blue and white. Don't give them any ideas. Okay, it's bad enough that they're already seeking money. Mount Rushmore, the moon. Did I say the moon? I gave them an idea. Paxos mistakenly minted the stable coins as part of an internal transfer before it immediately identified the error and burned the excess PYSUSD. The company said in a social media post, there aren't enough dollars in global circulation to back 300 trillion PYUSD, which would theoretically require more than double the world's estimated total GDP. A technical error. U.S. Special Ops helicopters B-52s near Venezuela expand Caribbean mission. So instead of thinking they were just going down there to lay in the sun, we're ready to blow that place up, baby. The U.S. military elite Special Ops aviation unit appears to have flown in the Caribbean waters less than 90 miles from the coast of Venezuela in recent days, according to a visual analysis by the Washington Compost. The helicopters were engaged in training exercises, according to the U.S. official, which translates into they were targeting fishing boats and trying to kill Flipper. That could serve as preparation for expanded conflict against alleged drug traffickers, which don't exist there, including potentially missions inside Venezuela so we can get their oil. The U.S. military has struck at least 5 tugboats allegedly carrying illegal narcotics. We don't have any evidence in international waters, murdering at least 27 people, according to U.S. officials. The last one occurring on Tuesday. Once a future king, President DJT said Wednesday he had authorized illegally the CIA to conduct missions inside the country. In other news, we're still waiting for Congress to approve any of this. U.S. deploys B-52 bombers over the Caribbean in unprecedented show of force. Passed through the Yucatan Channel, which separates Mexico and Cuba, and were eventually visible north of the Venezuela coast. Starlink starting to go live on United. Here's United Airlines. Lightning fast Starlink Wi-Fi is now on board our first mainline aircraft. Stay connected from gate to gate on all. Why you have to put 6 L's? All your devices, just like you're at home. That means live streaming, live sports, live gaming, even live watching your pet cam. Isn't that special? You got something to listen to your pet cam. Starlink Wi-Fi is already available on more than half our regional fleet and is rolling out on more planes every day, free for Mileage Plus members. And if you ever get on a plane, which probably won't ever again, and you might want to invest in the EMF blankets that you can wear so that you don't get the EMF radioactivity from the Wi-Fi being sucked into that tin can from the satellites that aren't that far away, apparently, and I don't know, save you some of the radioactivity. Jersey's 31. No. Well, I'm thinking Jason Sehorn with the 31. Wasn't Jason Sehorn 31? 31 for the Giants? You said, because right when you say blue and white, and then you say, oh, Kirk for 31. Okay, yeah. So I was thinking when you said, blue and white, and then you said jersey 31. I immediately thought Jason Sehorn from the Giants. Here is Nick Fuentes updates. New flags available for pre-order. Pre-order the nativist flag on Fuentes.store. Native Americans beware of foreign intelligence or influence intelligence. The nativist flag, which is also the Know Nothing Party flag. Native Americans beware of foreign influence. That was their flag. The only thing he did change, he put Washington in it instead of the eagle. That's literally from the Know Nothing parties. Who are the Know Nothings? They were an anti-Catholic group. It was also the best name for any political group, the Know Nothings, because they literally would come out and say if there was a debate or something, we just didn't know anything. We just know nothing. So it got nicknamed the Know Nothings. Also, the nativists. Not exactly a best idea, I don't know. Just maybe want to change that up. No one said Nick was best at anything. The Gaza peace deal has one huge problem. Hamas doesn't want to disarm because Hamas or people there in Gaza know that if they disarm, they will be executed on the spot. Because what happens anytime when you lay down your weapons, your DEA did. We're done. Bloodshed battle. Trump warns Hamas, quote, will have no choice but to go in and kill them all if carnage continues in Gaza. That's from the peace president himself. That's warned Hamas will go in and kill them if bloodshed persists in the Gaza Strip, even though Israel is literally still killing them. But if Gaza says anything back to Israel's bullets, it's the Gazans' fault. This fierce warning seeks to end violence as that has continued to plague Gaza, with Hamas executing collaborators and killing rivals in deadly gun battles. Now, I had somebody reach out to me and say, Steve, I can't believe you haven't brought up the Gazans executing anybody. I did, because everyone and their brothers saw it. Most of the stuff I try to put up is stuff that people haven't seen. So everyone and their brother, because Israel's going to push all that out, you're going to see that more than you're going to see the local news in your area. I'm going to show the stuff that Israel's doing to them because none of those guys are going to bring that up. That's why. So yes, both sides, and this is kind of like the whole idea of both sides are bad, aren't good, and that this isn't a Hamas thing. Or by the way, Hamas was funded by Israel, so it's their own. It's like their own thing. It's their boys. Again, that's why it's the people you be upset about that happened to the Gazans. Either way, it's not saying we don't want Gazans to be killed. That doesn't mean you're pro Hamas. That means you want people not to be killed. That's it. You can be, hey, yeah, I'm not for Hamas. You can also be at the same time, I'm not for Israel. Neither one. It's kind of like I hope to both lose. Hamas and Israel are the same. If that makes sense. Okay, let's War Pigs edition. Trump threatens to go in and kill Hamas. U.S. Hamas not violating Gaza ceasefire deal at the same time somehow. Israel forces continue to kill Palestinians in Gaza despite ceasefire, but again, no one cares. CENTCOM issues warning to Hamas that contradicts President Trump. Trump authorized lethal CIA ops in Venezuela. B-52 bombers, we talked about that. One U.S. strike on boat. Yeah, we already talked about that. We should ask if Israel did genocide. I don't know why you have to ask him. Dear Bibi, did you commit genocide? No. Thank you. That'd be kind of dumb thing would that be for Harris to say. Greta Thunberg details 5 days of abuse in Israeli custody. How dare you? Israel wants to pay U.S. pastors a stipend to spread the word of Israel. I'll put that up at least. Israeli drones kill one in southern Lebanon. IDF raids villages in Syria's city, set up checkpoints. Mm-hmm. Trump to make determination on Ukrainian offensive. Where are we at right there? Here's our responsible statecraft. Israel wants to pay U.S. pastors a stipend to spread the word. Christian parishioners caught up in the church's geofencing project, which none of the cheerleaders or any of our guys have uttered a thing about yet. react to the propagandizing and religious manipulation. A newly created firm called Show Faith by Works, which we've talked about quite often now, is embarking on a geofencing campaign to target Christian churches and colleges across the American Southwest with pro Israel advertisements. The pastors and congregations themselves are seemingly unaware of this campaign. Yes. And some have concerns with Israel's methods to target Christians. According to the firm's filing under Foreign Agencies Registration Act, FARA, Show Faith by Works will geofence the actual boundaries of every major church in California, Arizona, Nevada, and Colorado, and all Christian colleges during worship times. RS reached out to hundreds of churches in California, Arizona, Nevada, and Colorado that were listed as potential targets. None that responded were aware of the campaign. We are not aware of that. No, you were the first to bring that to our attention. Again, thank you, conservative radio talk show hosts and all that, for being on the ball. If it weren't for alternative media, nobody would know this was actually happening. You're not going to hear that from Fox or any. Hey, no, don't worry. The quote unquote left, the fake left, they're not going to bring it up too because they're all on the same team. Hence why you hear that stupid line. Well, if they would have brought up, if they had Trump in the Democrats had Trump in the Epstein report, they'd bring it up too. That's because they're in it. They're not going to bring it up too and bring themselves down. It's just a farce. Anyways, yeah, nobody knows. Nobody knows about it. You would think some of the guys in our circle would even talk about it. Nobody cares. Admiral Halsey has raised concerns about the mission and the attacks on the alleged drug boats. There were real policy tensions concerning Venezuela between the admiral and his civilian boss, Hedseg said. Thank you, Admiral. Americans don't want more illegal killing and war. Head of U.S. military Southern Command is stepping down. Less than a year in his tenure as the Pentagram escalates attacks against boats in the Caribbean Sea. Good on him. As Sperling says, embarrassing news for the Venezuela regime change neocons. U.S. offers record-breaking cash to encourage Venezuela military officials to defect and turn against Maduro. The decision to carry them out has been driven by the White House, and the strikes themselves have been conducted by special ops. U.S. launches 82nd airstrike of the year in Somalia, and don't you worry, boys and girls, we got 2.5 months more to go. We can get to 90. Come on, put some grit into it. You can do it. Put some elbow grease. Terrifying flash of massive Israeli strikes on South Lebanon turned night into day. Huge fiery blasts look like a nuclear apocalypse. One of the most brutal Israeli strikes since ceasefire ravaged South Lebanon, more than 20 strikes in minutes. Footage shows locals fleeing as fiery mushroom clouds erupt near the town of Ansar. Donald Trump's 12 unhinged moments as he plans to launch missiles at California. What? There's no way that's real. The Mirror U.S. Yeah, there's no way that's. I don't know how I got that stuck in there. What we know about White House plans for the Ark that Trump. This is not fake news. He's literally building a Lincolnian. It's very Lincolnian of him. Arch on the landscape there. Once the future king, U.S. President DJT wants to build a triumphal arch across the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., the latest in his efforts to make over the capital city in his image and likeness. The so-called Arch that Trump would commemorate the country's 250th anniversary next year and is reportedly being privately funded by Trump's supporters. A real estate developer by trade, he teased last week rendering the structure being laid out during an Oval Office meeting. So, where will he build it and how long will it take? Plans will come located across the Potomac River on federal land inside the district boundaries. You can look it up. Again, like always, it's in the show notes. Uh, in the traffic circle in front of Arlington National Cemetery. Plans were seen at the White House. So that's an idea of where it's supposed to be. We found that more than 170 U.S. citizens have been held by immigration agents. They've been kicked, dragged, and detained for days. So if you have anybody that just tells you that, hey, the U.S. has not done anything to citizens, there's your, you know, at least 170. The Age of Disclosure documentary revealing government cover up of non human intelligence sets release in theaters and on Amazon, plus new trailer. Hey, we got some marketing for the aliens. The Age of Disclosure, Dan Farrar's buzzy documentary that aims to establish that we're not alone in the universe, is finally making its way to the masses. I was going to say something else, but this is a family-oriented show. The films will have an Oscar qualifying run in select theaters in New York and LA beginning on November 21st, along with a concurrent release on Amazon Prime Video. Additionally, the new trailer for the film was released on Thursday. Per the description, the Age of Disclosure, an 80-year global cover-up of non-human intelligent life and secret war among major nations to reverse engineer advanced tech of non-human origin. Featuring testimony from 34 members of the U.S. government, military, and intelligence communities, the film exposes the profound stakes for the future of humanity. I sent this already to Daniel. Say, man, enjoy this one. Here's the new trailer if you want to check it out. I haven't looked at it yet, but it's probably just Rubio's in it. Russians fled streets singing banned song calling for Putin to be overthrown. A large crowd joined street musicians in Russia as they belted out a song banned for being extremist with lyrics calling for Vladimir Putin to be overthrown. Party, party. Apparently, somebody got arrested. Former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton is indicted. This was earlier today. John Bolton, I forget about the nickname. Trump's former national security advisor turned adversary has been indicted by a federal grand jury in Maryland. He now faces 18 charges, 8 counts of transmission of national defense information, and 10 counts of retention of national defense information. Printouts of diary entries were also found in Bolton's home, according to an indictment. Bolton is expected to surrender himself as soon as Friday to authorities at federal court in Greenbelt. His case was assigned to Judge Theodore Chuang, who was appointed to the bench by President Barack Hussein Obama in 2014. Racist text scandal explodes in the White House as mob boss staffer goes scorched earth with twisted revenge plot. The White House has ascended into chaos after top administration official was accused of leaking racist text messages sent by his Republican rivals. The damage and leak exploded onto the national stage on Tuesday after Politico obtained 2,900 pages, including texts which shown top brass in the New York State Young Republican Club calling people all kinds of names and praising Hitler. Gavin Wax, a State Department staffer, alleged orchestrated the takedown of his former colleagues in the New York State Young Republican Club, insiders told the Daily Mail. Oh, you've seen it going around all over the place. Trump hosts corporate ballroom donors at glitzy White House dinner. The event included representatives from Lockheed Martin, Microsoft, Meta, Google, Amazon, and Palantir. Color me shocked. Yeah. South Park returns to roast Peter Thiel and set up Cartman as the only hope against the Antichrist. If anybody watched South Park before, you got to be laughing at that. That is Donald Trump, Cartman, and the rest of the gang returned Wednesday after a 3-week hiatus. I want to read more, I want to watch it. I just, I can't. I know it's going to be bad. Ghislaine Maxwell's cellmates and prison guards are terrified and afraid to complain about her special treatment. Inmates are complaining that the alleged preferable treatment Ghislaine Maxwell has received since she transferred to a Texas federal prison camp, while staff are also walking on eggshells. Federal prison expert Sam Mangel told the Daily Fail that the arrival of Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend at federal prison camp Byron has caused some disturbances from the normally relaxed atmosphere at the minimum security facility. If anything, there's much more security now than there ever was before she got here. Not only are the prisoners walking on eggshells, but the staff is also. No one wants to run afoul of the powers that be. It's pretty bad when you're at that kind of place and the people are still terrified of you. He's 58 and trying to break into college football. Is basketball next? Older than his coach and many of his teammates' parents, Lycoming College's Tom Sillo is reconnecting with an opportunity he missed in high school. He's even landed an NIL deal. Holy cow. I got to see what in Division 3, too. He got NIL in Division D3. You could do that? Man. He's even landed a name, and that's what it is, for arthritis cream. I wish it showed how much he was making off that. Ultimately settled on those tag. Well, it's less painful. You can't get as much. That is hysterical. Yeah, if you don't play high school, I mean, if you don't play college in anything, the clock doesn't turn on. So you could be 70 years old, 80 years old. As long as you have eligibility, you could play college ball. I'm just pulling a transpush IVF and doesn't understand. I mean, the one thing about that is he's talked about that for years. So it shouldn't be too shocked. And like I said, he's brought up many times. Well, you bring up Frank Pavone has never called Trump because he's not going to call it. Trump could literally go out and do something very terrible. And most of these cheerleaders will never say a thing about it. It's my team versus their team. So you see that now. That's why you call them cheerleaders. Anything bad will never be brought up by them. They'll always say, like if you watch Nick Sorter or Gunther or Benny Johnson, everything. This is the greatest sneeze in the history of sneezes. That's, oh my Lord, look how great that's the greatest move he's ever done. Look how he eats his steak. Why, don't you wish you ate a steak like that? It's that outlandish. I mean, they literally post stuff like that. It was almost verbatim, except for the kind of went off a little bit on tangent. Scientists just made warm ice. Did they call Leo about this? Bad joke. Was this the blessed ice molecule that we had in the Vatican? Hearst magazines, and here's what you'll learn when you read this story. Ice comes from many phases. Yeah, I get it. Just discovered a new one called Iced 21. To study this new form of ice, scientists super compressed water to 2 gigapascals and used high-tech X-ray facilities to capture its molecular structure. Discovery of these kinds of high-temperatures metastable ices could help scientists understand the interiors of icy moons throughout the solar system. Ice isn't that complicated, gather together. Yeah, we get that. There are 20 phase ice, all donated with Roman numerals from 1 to 20. I didn't know that. I just thought ice was ice. Probably now found yet another phase of ice, appropriately named Ice 21. Okay, I had zero clue there was 20 different phases of ice. I just thought ice was literally ice. It's ice. It's ice. Yeah, ice, baby. Really? There's 21 things of ice? Yeah, I have to look that up another time. From Boomtown to Ghost Town, the population tsunami heading for America that will decimate families and the country. America is facing a demographic nightmare that could change the nation forever. For decades, experts warned that falling birth rates would eventually chip away at population growth, but few imagined the reckoning would come this soon or this brutally. I wonder I have to look at what the population growth on individual states are. If anybody knows that, send me that link if you find anything on the population by state. Because again, don't want to put it everything. If you look at the big thing on it, it's out of scale. So it's not. I don't want. I saw who is it? I saw Taylor put up the founder during the founders' time of how the people of the colonists were like 7 point something. That's like 7 point whatever. But again, that's the population wasn't as big. Obviously, we're talking about a population the size of Georgia today. I mean, the state of Alabama right now has more people in the state of Alabama than all the colonies have put together. So it's not a very good one-to-one apples to apples the comparison. So I wonder what the state by state, how the birth rates are in that. Sure, there's going to be some that are massively low. Sure, I'm not saying that one state's going to be at 8, but it's going to be better than the 1 point whatever. Most of them are, I bet. Maybe not most, probably about half. Mysterious spy balloons appearing over several U.S. states sparked fears of a covert invasion. Americans once again looking at the sky in alarm as mysterious high altitude balloons silently drift over multiple states. How come we don't have that now? Is it just a Brandon thing? Remember the 2023 Chinese spy balloon incident? Reports from Colorado, Arizona, and Alabama, sweet home Alabama. They would shoot those balloons out of the sky. They were in Alabama. Describe white objects hovering far above the clouds. Early the event sparked nationwide panic. That was the spy balloon. Blah, blah, blah. Here's what they look. What a fantastic photo right there. I don't know if you can get a better photo than right that. That's just amazing photo right there. Flight Radar 24. And back to this, back to that thing. It goes back to the federalist idea. Every state is a nation. Every state is a country. If you look at the big picture, yeah, it's going to be terrible. But if you break it down, I bet it looks. Again, it's not going to be tremendous, but it's going to look a lot better than that. Spit on, sworn at, and undeterred. What it's like to own a Cybertruck. Where are the targets? Wired spoke to 7 Tesla Cybertruck owners about their most controversial purchases and why they're proud to drive it. I haven't heard anybody being upset about it since Musk left. They are ugly as sin, though, but I think I kind of spruced it up a little bit. What's the last scoop? Oh, yeah. Democrats are plot the Fetterman ouster. Top Democrats in Pennsylvania are maneuvering to run against John Fetterman in a 2028 primary contest. I don't think anybody that's going to run literally runs, threatening to tear the party apart in the biggest battleground state in the nation. Or in the union, it should say. Let's get right to this day in history. 1793, Maria Antoinette was guillotined. After the French Revolution began, Maria Antoinette, queen consort of Louis XVI, was targeted by agitators who, enraged by her extravagance and attempts to save the monarchy, ultimately guillotined her on this day in 1793. I think she was falsely attributed to the whole let them eat cake. And it's like, oh, let them eat. I think talk to Ryan about that. He'll get into that more. But I think it was more like, hey, we have some cake, let them eat the cake, trying to get people to actually eat the cake. Not like, hey, flippantly, no, let them eat cake. No, she was actually trying to get them to eat the cake. 2003, Hungarian boxer Pop was the first 3-time Olympic boxing champion, died at age 77. 1978, Karol Wojtyła was elected Pope, assumed name JP2. 1968, during the award ceremony for the 200-meter race in Mexico City, American sprinters Tommy Smith and John Carlos gave the Black Power salute. 1964, China, eager to join the nuclear race, successfully detonated its first atomic bomb. 1946, 10 of the 12 defendants sentenced to death in the Nuremberg trials, including Joachim von Ribbentrop and Ernest Brunner, were executed. 1960, Margaret Sanger, an activist for women's reproductive rights, opened the first birth control clinic in these United States in Brooklyn, New York. 1888, American dramatist Eugene O'Neill, winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature, was born. 1869, the Cardiff giant was discovered in New York State, originally thought to be a petrified prehistoric man. It was later revealed to be a hoax, like most of them are. 1859, John Brown, a militant abolitionist, made his legendary raid on the U.S. arsenal at Harper's Ferry. 1847, English novelist Charlotte Bronte published Jane Eyre. Man, I remember reading that in high school. 1846, William Thomas Green Morton was first demonstrated the use of ether as a general anesthetic before the gathering of physicians in Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. 1813, Napoleon led his troops against the Allied forces in Austrian, Prussian, Russian, and Swedish troops during the Battle of Leipzig. In 1758, American lexicographer Noah Webster, who was instrumental in giving American English a dignity and vitality of its own, was born. Yeah. I was trying to come up with a couple other jokes at the end, but I'm like, hey, Mark, welcome to the program. We're leaving you. Anyway, have a great rest of the night, guys. See you tomorrow. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz below. Check out the link for the show notes, sensusfidelium.tv for the app. Also, check out if you have a cell phone and you don't like the service you're on, check out iCatholic mobile for a Catholic cell phone. Everyone's got the Catholic thing, Catholic email. You got Core 1312 is the Catholic alternative to Zoom. I don't tell you, no one's like, hey, there's a new Zoom. I've been telling people for over a year about this new Zoom, but no one's really pushed it. It's Core COR Corinthians COR 1312. You get it, and it's the Catholic alternative to Zoom. Tell your parents, tell your priests, everyone that uses Zoom about it, so you don't, Zoom gives to bad guys. And we got a Catholic alternative. We got Catholic alternatives to everything. So check out iCatholic mobile and get your cell phone transferred over. Good guys. And if you need, they want some priests. So if you know a priest that needs a cell phone, hit them up and they'll get your priest taken care of. Have a great rest of the day. Talk to you later. Good night and God bless.